Hey, good morning and happy Monday. Welcome to Breakthrough Walls. I'm Ken Walls. I am your host, and I have a very, very special lady, a good friend of mine on the show today, and her name is Christy Primmer. I want to go ahead and welcome Christy all the way in from Canada.
Hey, Ken. Good morning.
Good morning to you. You look wonderful.
Thank you.
Hey, I appreciate you taking time out of your busy schedule to do this. And, what's crazy is I think I have had probably, I don't know, at least 15 probably people from Canada, friends of mine from Canada on the show.
You know what's right.
I know. Hey, Jim Ziegler's on here. What's going on, Jim? We have Sandy Lewis. We've got a lot of great people on. And my apologies for not engaging with the audience in advance because we got a lot of ground to cover. This goes out on iTunes. It goes out on my TV network and everything else. So here we go. I got to shout out a couple of other Canadians. We have Greg Crane and Lindsay Adamson. I mean,
Awesome.
It's crazy, man. I'm like, I think I'm supposed to move to Canada, eh?
Come to my house.
Huh?
Come to my house. It's big enough.
Yeah, right. So Christy, I created this show because there's Leilani Moore too, because I love Leilani. Because I know that people get stuck in life. The crap hits them. They hit the wall. They don't know how to get through it. They don't know how to overcome the issues that life throws at us, and so they get stuck, and they stay stuck for an entire lifetime sometimes, and that breaks my heart. And I know you've been through enough crap in life. And I mean, you and I have had some in-depth conversations. You've been through it. And you're a champion. I mean, you've really overcome a lot of things. So I want to start with, how about telling everybody who you are, where you're from, where you were born and raised. Let's start there.
All right. Awesome. Okay. So I'm Christy Primmer. I currently live in Wyoming, Ontario, Canada. So for those of you that don't know Ontario at all, I'm near Sarnia, which is a border city to Port Huron, Michigan. And I was born actually in a little tiny village of about 250 people.
Wow.
No one knows that about me unless they've read my first book. But outside of Woodstock, Ontario. And, I've moved around a little bit, but currently near Sarnia and just really, really actually on the brink of taking a bigger jump and moving again. So stay tuned.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, one thing that I'm positive of, I guess I shouldn't say positive. It's a theory, but I believe that it's true. And I think that, everybody in life has some sort of event or people or things that occur in childhood, good and bad, that kind of dictate who we become as an adult, or maybe not dictate, but pushes us in a certain direction. And I guess when I say that to you, what's the very first thing that pops into your head? Who influenced you as a child?
Oh, geez. Probably my mom.
Okay.
My mom and my dad. So I was adopted. So I was adopted at 11.
Oh, wow.
But my mom was just a badass businesswoman. My mom always supported me in my sports and my Girl Guides, but she always had her own life, and she always climbed the ladder. She was with her company for 45 years.
Wow.
Like, that's unheard of now. But
Wow.
I would watch her be able to be a mom, sometimes by phone with travel, and do things and volunteer and give back, but also still be a woman. And so that really inspired me to want to create my own life, I always wanted to have a child. One, I got him. But I always wanted to have my own identity as a woman. To me, that was really important and definitely influenced by my mother.
Okay, cool. So you went to, now I know they call it's a little bit different naming conventions in Canada. There's
Right.
college and there's university. Still not sure I know the difference, but because here it's just college, right?
I went to both. I've been to both college and university a couple times.
Oh, okay. So you went to, like, did you, like, where you grew up in this little village? Is that where you went to school your whole life?
No, I grew up in this little village till I was 18, and a boyfriend of mine had been killed in a car accident.
Oh, wow.
And within about 2 months, I made a decision. My sister was getting married, but I made a decision I wasn't going to go to post-secondary right away. I just needed to mentally get out of there.
Yeah.
So having never flown before, I hopped on a plane. I moved out to Jasper, Alberta, Canada.
Wow.
I got a housekeeping job, and I lived out there for a few years. So circling back to your question, I didn't go to post-secondary until I was about 20.
Okay.
And I came back to London. I went to London College, and then I went to Windsor University, which is both in Ontario, Canada.
Okay. So, but you went to like grade school and
Where I
high
grew up,
school
yeah.
and all that in the village of 250.
I was bused.
So, wow. So how many kids were in your graduating class? Like 5?
No, I think there was about 18 of us in our graduating class.
Wow. And I thought I went to a small school with 80 kids in my graduating class. Holy moly. So, okay, so wow, that's like a town where you definitely know everybody and they know you.
Yeah, and my dad was the fire captain, so everybody knew me, and I had to. It was pros and cons of that, but yeah, and all my family, they farmed, so all my family was there.
Wow,
It's crazy.
So you grew up on a farm?
Down the road, my grandparents had a farm.
Okay.
And my mom and dad lived right in the village, and my grandparents lived just on the cusp of the village.
Okay. So you farmed as a kid? Did you work on the farm at all?
Until I was about 12, and they wouldn't let me wear my dresses in the barn. And it started to stink too much at that time. But yeah, I did. I actually spent my entire childhood helping on the farm, helping do a lot of things that people would never guess I did.
Wow. So, so you ended up at 20 years or 18-ish. You went to, I see, like, you're naming parts of Canada. I know where Toronto is. That's about it. Like,
I'm currently 2 hours from Toronto.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So you traveled about Canada. You ended up having a job as a housekeeper?
I started out as a housekeeper for, it's now owned by Fairmont, but it was Canadian Pacific Hotels.
Oh, okay.
And I moved out there, and then within 3 months, I was promoted to a supervisor position, and then I just kept getting promoted.
Wow.
But yeah, so I was willing to take whatever I could get to do whatever it took to get out of where I was.
Wow.
And my parents helped me buy my plane ticket, even though they were like not wanting me to go. And I was off on an adventure.
Wow.
Scrubbing toilets.
Oh my God. In a hotel.
Yeah.
I could not even imagine.
If anyone gets a chance, Google Jasper Park Fairmont Hotel. It is a resort it's right in the mountains.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Is it?
Yeah.
Wow. But still, I mean, you had to see some nasty things. So,
Oh yeah.
Okay, so you ended up in working in this hotel, and then what happened after that?
So I met my ex-husband.
Okay.
And got engaged actually at West. My dad became very sick with his first diagnosis of cancer.
Oh.
So after, it was about almost 2 years, and then we flew back, because at that point I had said to my ex-husband, listen, I got to go home. So you're either going to come with me or you're going to continue on. And I wish you well no matter what you choose, but I got to go.
Right.
And ultimately he came home with me. We ended up getting married. I had my son and I went back to school. So at that point I started college and
how old were you?
I was 21.
Okay.
Yeah. And I first took my developmental services worker program, which was at that time a 3-year college diploma program at London, Fanshawe, which is in London.
Okay.
And so I did that. And ironically, my sister also was in the course at the time with me.
Wow.
And she was a year ahead of me. But basically, I wanted to do that program because I've always been an advocate for people that have so-called disabilities, limitations. And lo and behold, my son was at birth, had Erb's palsy occur. So because he was stuck and it was a very traumatic delivery, the courses that I had taken and was continuing to take after I'd had him helped me be a better advocate for my own child. So it's like everything circles back around.
Right.
You know?
Right. Wow. So wow. So here you are, 21-ish. And you have a child.
I'm married with a child.
Married with a child, going
Don't
to.
do it, kids.
Huh? What'd you say?
I said, don't do it, kids.
Yeah, right. So you had and you're going to college or university?
College at this time. Yeah.
College. College is first in Canada.
Yeah, college. The difference between college and university, in a nutshell, is university is a lot more money. But college is more hands-on applied, whereas university is very much self-directed research-based.
Okay.
So the skill set, from my experience, being to both twice, a lot more self-directed research and writing a lot of papers and a lot of different research thinking, innovative thinking with university. Whereas with college, yes, you still have to do your research and your papers, but you actually have hands-on practical placements for the career you're choosing. Yeah.
Okay. So you're in college. You have a child. You're married. How's that all going?
Then I got separated.
Oh, okay.
So
not from college.
No, I wasn't done college yet.
Right.
My son's the different needs that he had really put a strain on my marriage. And I'm still the woman. Like, if my child needs anything, you bet your ass I'm going to make sure I can do it. And if I can't, I will find someone who can. And so I think looking back, he was 26, I was 21. Yeah. Sorry, he was 27, I was 21. And then 22. And then I was separated, and it was like, I got to keep getting an education because I have a child now and I'm a single parent. Right. So long story short, then I started working and enrolled in university. Okay.
So you got separated. You're working. You enroll. You're like, I'm taking this to a new level of pressure.
3 jobs.
Oh my. So that's what I love about you is you're just a whatever it takes kind of.
You have to be.
And I know that there's a lot of gender separation. It's always really cool to see a woman really, really excel like you have.
Thank you.
But at the end of the day, it's a thing where it's a human nature thing. It's like you either have that innate desire to do whatever it takes, or you don't. And I'm not sure that it can be learned personally.
When I look back, my son's going to be 18 this year, so do the math, whoever's watching.
Yeah.
I've been remarried for almost 13 years now, which is the love of my life, my best friend. I've got my degrees, I've got my diplomas, and I look back now and I think it couldn't have been any other way. Was it stressful? Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah.
If I hadn't had my mom and dad's support and great childcare, I don't know. I look back and I'm like, wow, I just remember my morning started at like 4:30 a.m. got myself ready, got my child ready, got him dropped off at daycare, got to my first job, got to my second job, picked my child up, like,
wow.
And then did my research and my schooling at night. So I had to switch from full-time to part-time.
Wow.
And I just remember being so grateful. Like, so I look back and I'm like, wow, how did I do that? And then I also sit and I go, of course I did it. I'm Christy Primmer. I do whatever it takes when it takes it, you know?
Right. But, you know, I mean, along that journey, though, there had to be moments, I would imagine. I mean, you know, one of the things about you is every time I talk to you, and we've talked a lot, and we've talked on video a lot, too. So I always, you know, we FaceTime, whatever. But, like, you are always this bright, bubbly, shining, glowing, you know, beautiful thing of positive energy. And I love that. And I mean, I think for the most part, I have that same, you know, but there's got to be things along this journey that you like locked yourself in a room and went, I can't freaking do this shit anymore.
Snot-nosed cries, man. Singing, like praying to God on the floor after I put my son to bed. Like, help me. So funny you say that, because the entire reason I have built my company to what I have and why I work with women internationally is because I was broke. I was left for broke.
Yeah.
And I could have said, and this, before I say this, no offense to anyone who's had to use a system or support. I totally get it.
Yeah.
But I could have chosen to say, I can't do this. I can't do this. Or I had to just pull from faith and say, I'm going to do this no matter what. And it's going to work out for the best interest of myself and my son. And something even better is going to happen, and trusting that. But, oh man, lots of tears, lots of snotty nose cries, lots of anger at God. Like, what the hell? You know? And being so poor that I couldn't buy diapers. So building my business to what it's at and helping women be confident and, you know, within their body, within their skill set, improving their personal development and financially independent. Because one of the reasons I stayed in my marriage longer than I should have was because I didn't have any money.
Right.
So I stayed in hell.
Yeah.
Because otherwise I would have been broken on the streets.
Yeah.
I mean, there was a piece of me that was like praying, like maybe there was going to be some miraculous hope for us and our marriage was going to thrive. But I'm committed to helping women live better lives and smart men, because I have been in those dumps, valleys, whatever you want to call them, where you really don't know what you're going to do. You really don't know who's going to help you. You feel so alone.
Yeah.
And add having no money in your account, it's like, it's just a dark place that I've been in my life. And that's why I'm so committed to helping other people rise up so they never have to be there or ever be there again, you know?
But do you find, you know, don't you find that it's that, because I've been through hell in life, and you know, I've always come back out on top. Yeah. And, you know, but don't you find that it's that pain that really, you know, and again, some people take that pain and they use it as a launch pad, and other people take it and use it as an excuse to stay stuck. And,
a crutch.
Yeah, right. Yeah. There you go. And so you obviously took that pain and you used it like, this is fuel for my rocket ship. Right?
Well, yeah, you know, like I had to, it's actually something in one of the books I'm working on right now, purposeful living from pain. Like we have to choose consciously if we're going to stay in that rut. And some of us have been in places that no one would ever even imagine because of where we are now.
Right.
But it's like, it's a conscious choice every day.
Right.
So yeah, people do, they choose to either let it define them and hold it as a crutch for why they can't improve, or they say, you know what, by the grace of God, by the whole, like the unit, whatever it is for them, I have to get out of this and get to something better. Yeah, for sure.
So,
but then it shapes us too, right?
Right. But I think, and I know I don't know how you define it. I think you call it coaching. You do coaching and I've done some coaching too, and I still do some. But I've found that there are people that are really, really, really stuck. I mean, you can see their path, like you can see it, and you're like, I see it. Here it is. This is what you need to do, and they don't do it. And it's like, right? So it's like again, when you see that where somebody is stuck, and what's got them. I mean, what's the biggest thing that you think is holding people back?
Well, I've built my whole company on this: self-awareness, self-love, self-confidence, everything to start with self.
Yep.
And I feel like too many people, because for almost 2 decades now, I've been working with people,
right. Trauma
counseling, coaching.
Yeah.
And even though everyone's story is a little bit different, it always comes back to they don't feel like they're worthy enough. They don't know how to feel like they're worthy enough. Or if they can kind of grasp that idea, they have no concept of who they really are, because they've been defined by these labels and the story that they've lived.
Yeah.
And that's not to minimize anything they've been through.
Right.
But they're lacking that wherewithal to say, like, I can change my story. It's not just hokey pokey.
Right.
I can be whoever I want to be. So I think it always comes back to their core identity, their self.
Yeah.
And when people are stuck, and I know exactly what you're talking about, you can actually write out what they can do to help themselves, A to B to C.
Yeah.
And they're like, I can't do it, man. They freeze.
Yeah.
And what I found is a lot of times, and this is really a bitter pill to swallow, but a lot of times people like the comfort in the familiarity and the safety of being in such a dark place.
Yeah.
And I'm not talking depression. I'm talking just stuck. Okay.
Yeah.
But they're more content with that, if content's the right word, than the risk of, well, what if it doesn't work? What if it's one more attempt and I fail? What if no one supports me? So it's really getting into the mindset of who they are and what they're capable of.
And I think, and Dr. Wayne Dyer wrote a lot about that stuff. He's one of my favorite authors ever. But, like some people are complaining just to complain, not because they want a solution, right?
And that's their habit. Like, I see
right.
it becomes a habit.
I know.
An unconscious habit.
Yes.
Right?
So how do you and we're going a little bit off the path here, talking about your life story, but I think that your life story is probably, I mean, just the little bit I've heard so far, it's like speckled with, holy crap, how's this going to work out? And then you just push through it. Right. A friend of mine, when I got sober 16 years ago, my first AA sponsor said, dude, you're like at the bottom, you're at the deepest part of a big, dark black hole. Stop digging. Like, quit digging, man. Like, but so, you see people, I know you deal with a lot of people every day, men and women, and I know that you do speaking engagements. You've got, how many books do you have now?
3, but only 1 solo, and I just signed a new book deal, so I'm working on my 2nd solo book.
Wow, congratulations.
Yeah.
Wow.
Thank you.
So, and you're amazing. Like, you sent me your book signed, you sent me your cards, those cards. I mean, you're amazing. So the people that are stuck, like they're incredibly stuck. They're programmed by the past. They're programmed by life, by other people. And what they need to do. You tell them, hey, this is what you should probably consider doing if you want to get unstuck, but they don't. What do you do? How do you get those people across? I don't even want to say the finish line, across the starting line. How about like pushing them up? Like, come on, man, get set. The race it's already started. You got to get going, man. How do you get people to do that? How do you interrupt their patterns?
Yeah, it's interesting because I was just talking about this with a client yesterday that's in a pretty dark place. She'll get out of it, but I genuinely believe that when I show people I actually care, it resonates with them on a different level. And I also think, showing that you care, yes, but I always let them know, you want to get in the driver's seat of your life, you've got to hit the pedal. You've got to take action. If it's like a minute baby step today and one tomorrow, that will build exponentially on the bigger plan, the bigger goal. And, a lot of encouragement, but the accountability. I really love empowering people to take action. And as come back to me when you're ready.
Sorry, something happened. It stopped streaming there for a second, so it's going again now, I think. Sorry, I don't know what happened.
That's weird.
Yeah, very weird. So you tell them, come back to me when you're ready.
Yeah, like I feel like if people don't want to, I get the whole feeling like hopeless and stuff and needing help and guidance, totally. But if they're not willing to take responsibility for their results, if they're not willing to do any type of action, or they say, I've tried that, it didn't work, they're not someone that I'm able to help at that time.
Right.
The resistance is far too strong.
Right. I mean, I've seen it where a long time ago I tried to help this homeless guy in Atlanta. I gave him a job. I put him up in a motel. I gave him money. And he never showed up for the job. And I fronted him all this money, put him up in a motel room, and he never even showed up. And that I was 21 years old, probably 22, somewhere in there. And I'm like it's always kind of stuck in my head. Like that dude he could have changed his path, but he chose not to. And it was. I opened up the door wide for him, and I think I even he ate Thanksgiving dinner with me and my family at my house. So, but I always wonder about people like that. You know what I mean? And I'm not judging by any means. I've been homeless 4 times. I mean, I always find it very curious that people, excuse me, choose to stay stuck.
Yeah.
I don't get that.
And a lot of people get angry when you call them on it.
Yes.
And get defensive. And it's like, listen, it's not a judgment. It's an observation.
Right.
You have this opportunity and you're choosing to bypass that to stay stuck.
I know.
So how can I help you help yourself if you're telling me that right now you don't want to take any help?
It blows me away completely.
I had to really. Oh, sorry, Ken. I had to really come to a place where I realized that not every person was for me to help, because I care. I'm so empathetic and I care so strongly about people that if I can help, I really want to. But it was my wisdom and maturity and growth where I realized, listen, I can't babysit. I can't push to a point where they're not, going to do anything.
Yeah.
It's about stepping back and saying, you do you. Sucks. I'll pray for you. But when you're ready, if I'm still around, then come and see me. If not, you'll find someone different or better.
Right. Right. So you think that the number one reason people stay stuck is self-awareness. They don't love themselves.
And they don't understand that they're capable of change. They've been so stuck in their stories and in their patterns that instead of tuning into all the things, environment, thoughts, circle of support, even the food they eat, the water they drink, all the basics.
Yeah.
The self-awareness isn't there. And so it's like they're so caught up in what's been their story that at the core of who they are, that's who they think they are, instead of these are the circumstances that have shaped you to be who that person is today.
Right.
But you can change who that person is for tomorrow. I feel like that's the missing link there, right? They're really just totally not aware of any possibilities for change, or maybe don't trust that they can.
Right. I mean, I totally agree with you. What's funny is the number one answer to that question on this show has been fear. is fear, and I believe that it's a. Have you ever studied A Course in Miracles, or
Gabby,
or
yeah,
or Marianne Williamson's book, A Return to Love? So she talks about some of that stuff. That A Course in Miracles, a buddy of mine that introduced me to it said it can be summarized fairly simple. It's like a thick, huge book, and he's like, it's everything human beings do and experience in life can be categorized under one of two things: fear or love.
Love, yeah.
And so that goes back to what you said. It's a love of self.
Yeah.
So,
sure.
Somebody that comes to you and they are, let's not go there yet. I'm gonna hold I'm gonna hold that question for closer to the end. But so let's back up a little bit. So here you are at university now, the higher level of learning apparently in Canada. I don't get. Is that like master's? Oh, okay. So in America, it's like just bachelor's degree from a college at a university, and then master's degree, PhD, whatever.
Yeah, college you only get diplomas.
Okay.
You can't use the word degree unless you graduated your bachelor from university, which then you go back to university for your master's, and then you can, if you choose, go back for your PhD, your doctorate.
I got it. Okay. Can you leave high school and go straight to university?
Absolutely.
Okay. Wow. See, I'm learning. I feel like I'm at university right now.
Your Canuck friends will help you out, man.
So you're separated or divorced or
divorced by that time.
Okay. You have a child with some special needs. You have 14 jobs, it sounds like. Three. And you're not living at your parents'?
I had actually eventually did move back to the upstairs. My parents had a huge, huge house.
Yeah.
So I actually did move back into the upstairs of it for a short period of time.
Yeah.
Because otherwise I wouldn't have been able to pay for my car, right? So.
Wow. You're just like.
And I hated moving. Like my mom was my best friend. My dad has passed away, but my dad was like another hero to me.
Wow.
But I mean, when you've been on your own for years, and now you're moving back with a kid, and you feel like your marriage failed, your kid, like it was not ideal.
Yeah.
But again, something that had to happen. So yeah, I lived with them for a little while. Yeah.
Now, didn't your dad just recently?
No, well, it'd be 4 years in November. But he was sick, so I come back from Jasper.
Okay.
And he was sick for 15 years after that.
Oh my gosh.
Cancer after health ailment hell.
Wow.
And then he passed away in November of 2014.
Wow. I thought I remembered something that you had told me or you had posted or something about something you went through recently. I don't remember what it was. But so you're like going through the shit, and this is in your mid-20s, right? Like,
yeah.
Okay. Did you end up graduating and getting a degree from university?
Yes.
Okay. And that was in
liberal and professional studies, so emphasis on psychology and business.
Nice. And then what happened next? You got an amazing job somewhere that paid you millions of dollars a year in life, and you lived happily ever after.
Yeah, something like that. So I actually finished my degree, end of it, after being married. So it took quite a bit of time, but also went back to college at the same time and finished a different diploma course. Wow. But yeah, so I ended up getting a job working for a community living agency, so supporting men with dual diagnosis that had been charged as sex offenders.
Oh,
so
geez.
A dual diagnosis is a mental illness and a developmental disability.
Okay.
So there's two diagnoses going on. And so did that for quite a few years. and then got a second job working for a community living agency out of London, supporting youth, young men that had dual diagnosis as well. So Fragile X, schizophrenia, autism, bipolar disorder. So really pulled from my education. But what I did so successfully that I tried to teach my team and my coworkers was I always met the individual where they were energetically. And to some people that sounds really woo, but I've always been intuitive. I've always been able to sense people's energy and emotion. And I think that's why I've been so effective at my work. But I would work with these people and I would have less aggression, less issues. And it's like, build the rapport.
Right.
Feel them out. Like if someone's aggressive, you don't go in and start trying to tell them what they have to do with their lives.
Right.
I have a teenager, believe me.
Yeah.
But so I did that. And you know, the pay at the time, I mean, I'm going to be honest, the pay at the time sucked. I didn't do the work because of the money. I did the work because my heart was in it to be of service. And after that, I got a government position working as a team supervisor, overseeing senior care. So I supervise nurses, PSWs, home support workers.
Wow. And
advocated for seniors to have the best care living in home and long-term care facilities. And then I moved. So I gave up. That was like my dream job.
Uh-huh.
And my husband, Anthony, had got a teaching opportunity where we live now. And so I decided that I would support him in his teaching career and gave up that position, trusting something even better would come along. And I moved, and it was really lonely. Moved to a little village to raise my son.
Wow.
And ended up getting a job working with survivors of sexual violence for a few years. So.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you've done a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
And this is only in your mid-20s.
Yeah.
Wow.
And it all related back to helping people become their best self. So then when I started my company 7+ years ago, it was just a no-brainer to take all the things I love doing, writing books, speaking, counseling, coaching, and create a business out of it.
Wow. So so you had these jobs. I apologize. My little girl's trying to get my attention.
Abigail.
Abigail, yeah. So you had you had these jobs in your 20s, and at what point did you start your entrepreneurial journey?
Well, I always wanted to run my own business.
Uh-huh.
And I was writing business plans and, I mean, all the shit now that I tell my clients, you know what, if you need it for funding, do it. But otherwise, figure out what you want to do your soul's calling.
Right.
But anyways, I always want to have my own business. And lo and behold, doesn't the universe just kick us in the pants? I walked into work July of 2011, got let go, got fired.
Ow.
No warning. So 2 weeks prior, had a 5-star work performance review.
Wow.
But government-funded agencies are very sketchy. And also, I was working with some pretty toxic people. I really wanted to get out of there.
Wow.
And I was like, okay, I have to have a plan, and then I'll leave. Well, the universe was like, boom.
Wow.
The time is now. And that's why my company is Prime Time, because it's prime time to shine. It was prime time for me to start my own business. And it was pretty scary. It was pretty difficult the first couple months. And then I was like, you know what? I'm doing it. I'm going all in. I'm starting my own business. And never looked back.
Wow. That's incredible.
Yeah.
And so how old, you said when? 2011?
7 years ago. So I was 31.
Wow. Okay. And so, okay, hold on. So
keep in mind, though, my dad was an entrepreneur.
Right.
My mom's family were entrepreneurs. Like, it's in my bloodline.
I understand that, but it doesn't matter if other people around you are entrepreneurs. Once you become one, it's like, oh God, it just got real, like really real.
Oh yeah.
Right. So. Oh, that's right. I need money to pay bills, and clients haven't paid or whatever. I mean, there's a whole gaggle of things.
I have no clients.
Yeah, that. Yeah, I have no clients, but I have a business. So the how did that go when you first got started? I mean, how were things?
It's funny. Sorry, I got something in my eye.
That's all right.
But things were so my husband was like, I didn't talk for about 2 weeks when I got fired. I couldn't talk. I was so traumatized. I had just found out the night before my dad had his 4th cancer.
Wow.
I walk into work getting ready to go to trial. So I've done a lot of work in domestic and sexual assault trials. So I was totally in the mindset to be with my client.
Wow.
And, I was really traumatized, but I took the time and processed that. And within 3 months, I pulled my investments. I pulled all my investments out.
Wow.
And went back to university.
Good
and
Lord.
Started a business. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And you're not living at home.
No, I have my own. We have a very beautiful home.
Yeah. So wow. So, okay. Hold it. Had you met your husband?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So
okay.
I've been with Anthony for 14 plus years, married for
Awesome.
almost 13. Yeah.
Awesome. Okay. So, I'm sure he had some sort of income at least to, buy peanut butter.
But we had, I'm not going to lie, we had a lifestyle.
Yeah, right.
And I refused to give that up. So I was like, listen, I'll do whatever it takes. Pulled my investments out. And then I built in the first year, word of mouth referral, 6-figure company.
Oh my gosh, look at you go. That's awesome.
So I mean, because he trusted in me, and I was like, I'll finance myself. You pay the mortgage.
Right.
I'll take care of Nevon, our son's care and stuff.
Wow.
And had to get a lawyer and get paid out from the agency that had fired me. So that took a lot of time and emotion, but in the end, whatever, it was what it was. But yeah, it's, again, it couldn't have happened any other way, because now when I'm working with women and they're like, but this and but this and but this, it's like, either you want to or you don't.
That's right. It's it.
Like, don't give me your bullshit.
Right.
I'm not going to listen to it, because if I see potential in you and believe in you, my job is to help pull that out of you, right?
Yep.
So.
Yeah. I love it. I mean, that's the thing is I see, and no offense to any. I mean, look, I'm a recovered alcoholic of 16 years sober, but I was a raging practicing alcoholic for 25 years. So, I would go to save a relationship or whatever. I'd go to see a counselor, and it'd be like some 24-year-old that I'm like, first off, I've been at this game way longer than you've been, and it's like, because I just didn't respect them as much, because they just didn't have the experience, the real life experience. And
you can tell.
Yeah, absolutely. And I could manipulate the hell out of them. Big time. They didn't even know what was happening. So so it's like when and no offense, but I see these young kids that are, and I say young, I just turned 50, so everybody's a young kid now. But I see these young kids that are like in their 20s trying to be these life coaches, and they're taking pictures in front of Ferraris and jets and all of, and it's like, dude, what? And they're but whatever. So I think that experience, the life experience that you're talking about, there's nothing, all the university education in the world cannot even come close to comparing to that.
No.
To having to figure it out many, many times over.
Yeah. Just to add to that, I always tell people I'm proud of my education because I paid for it all myself.
Right. Sure.
And I'm debt free of it. Like, I've paid it off.
Wow.
But what I learned, more than getting the degrees and the diplomas, what I learned about myself, in addition to all the other stuff that life had given me beforehand, has made me more efficient, more understanding,
Yep.
and more results focused, and more efficient at helping others get those results. So,
Yes.
yeah, I mean, I have clients that have never gone to and have no desire to go to post-secondary. And I'm like, you don't have to,
Right.
but you have to know what your craft is. You have to be able to do and have done what you're teaching someone else.
Yep.
You know?
Yep. That's right. I agree with that. So the, if somebody comes to you and they are stuck and like bad, like can't pay the bills, the electric's getting shut off tomorrow, car got repoed the other day, getting evicted from my place of where I live, you know, whatever, just really horrible circumstances. I've had people come to me in that shape, right? And I'm sure you've had many more than I have. So, like, what do you say to them? I know you've got to ask certain questions. I get that. But what do you say to help them get out of that? Because it's a mindset. I know it is. But how do you get them to break that? What do you say?
Well, you know, firstly, I let them know that what they're going through is what they're going through right now. I also ask them what's possible, because I want to hear what they're thinking. I can learn a lot. We can all learn a lot from what people answer to questions, right?
Yeah.
And a lot of times I've had people be like, you know what, I'm willing to do anything. And I ask them, anything? Because it's going to take a little bit more discomfort before you get comfortable.
Yes.
And, you know, people either are like, you know what, it can't get any worse, I'm willing to do whatever it takes. Or people say, you know, I have no money, I can't afford help. It's like, okay, let me do some mentorship and see if you even do what I offer to you before we even agree to work together, right?
Right.
9 out of 10 times people do take some action. Maybe not consistent, but some action.
Yeah.
And then there's that person out there who isn't for me to help. Like, I just, you know, we all have different things going on. And what I say all the time is, what is possible? Like, what do you want? I don't like to focus on what led them to where they are. Even in my counseling practice, I use solution focused approach.
Yeah.
Because rehashing trauma, rehashing pain, it's not good for our psyche.
Right.
And it doesn't improve anything. It's people are just going to relive and be triggered by what they've been through, instead of like, you're right here. Where do you want to go?
Right.
So really having candid conversations with people and asking them what's possible. What are you committing to? What are you willing to commit to?
Yep.
Because I feel like the best results I've had with clients, and now clients find me. There's women that seek me out. They're like, oh my gosh, I want to work with you, you know?
Yeah.
But really getting clear on, like, I take a no bullshit approach. I will love you with all my heart and soul, and I will help you. But if you want to work with me, you have to take responsibility, and you have to consciously choose every minute, every hour, every day to change your life.
Yep. Wow. That's powerful. So we're coming up to the end of the show already. Can you believe that? Jeez, that went fast. Did that go fast?
It did. It's been great, though.
It has been. You're amazing. And I, you know, I kind of, and I know that, like, you're killing it in everything that you do. And again, you've been through the times just like we all do, like, where it's like, I'm not killing it, right? Yeah, it's a roller coaster ride. It really is. And you know, but what's coming up for you? What's next? I mean, you said you just got a new book deal.
Yeah, so that's the biggest thing right now. I'm actually going to be closing my private practice as well.
Wow.
So I'm focusing more on coaching women and speaking internationally and my books and product lines. So really focusing on this book. The title is so badass. I can't wait till I can announce it. The title is just a glimpse of how great the content is. But So yeah, really focusing on serving in a greater capacity. So really looking for opportunities to be that light, be that voice of reason, but attracting people that want to change, want to live better.
Yeah.
you know, and really just getting that message out there that we can be, do, have whatever we believe. So scaling my business more at that level, really looking for more, the group coaching. You'll see a lot more programs coming out from me just so I can help more people at once. I find it's been, you know, I love my one-to-ones. I love my VIP clients. I surely do. But when you get people together that are like-minded, it's so powerful. It's so rewarding.
Yeah. I'm sure. Yeah, that's awesome. So how can everybody that doesn't know you, how can they follow you?
Follow me on Instagram or Facebook at Christy Primmer.
Okay.
And you know, my website, Christy Primmer, will come up, primetimecs.com. But my name pretty much brings up. Yeah.
So ChristyPrimmer.com goes to the Primetime?
That or just my name or primetimecs.com.
Okay.
But yeah, I'd love to hear from you guys, what you took away from this interview, what's up, how I can support you.
What are some parting words of wisdom or advice you would give to everybody watching this? Now remember that this goes out on the Binge Network's TV as well, and there's 4 or 5 million people there, and I've been told I have the #1 show on the network. So
of course you do.
Well, that's what I was told. So I'm grateful for that. But you know, regardless, a lot of people will see this that have no idea who you are or I am, and all over the world. So give them the people who are like just maybe stuck in a bad relationship, or they're stuck in a bad job, or they're stuck in they're not living their full potential and they know it. What are you going to say to them?
I love this opportunity, Ken. You know, I want to say first, I see you and I honor you, and I've been you. And no matter where you are or where you have been, you can get to where you're going. You can be who you want to be. And it's finding the right influencers, the right supporters, and being in the right environment. You know, I really just first want to say I see you and honor you. I've been there.
Love
and
that.
anything is possible.
Love that. I love that. Christy, you are an amazing human being. An amazing human doing. I love that.
Doing it.
You're doing it. And I'm so grateful. I thank you so much for coming on. I know you're very busy. It took a while to even get you booked. That's how busy you are.
I know, but thank you for your patience. And I appreciate you. I appreciate these shows that you do that are of so much value. So thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate it. And everybody, make sure that you go to primetimecs.com.
Yeah.
primetimecs.com. I'm sure all of your social media stuff is on there. And follow Christy in everything that she's doing, because she is truly a rock star that's making a lot of great things happen. So I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
Cheers.
To everybody on Facebook, thank you for every share, every heart, every like, love. We even got some laughing cry faces. I love that. So, Christy, thank you so much, and we'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a great day.